Hi Arrows, I'm Kashawn and you are watching The Book Archer. I don't even know how to start this video. I did not script this before, so these are just going to be my thoughts off the top of my head. Recently there was a Huff Post article published by Jolie Doggett, which we will talk about you in a second, girl. It was featuring myself, Naya Reads and Smiles, Christina Marie, and Books and Big Hair. And the title of the article is Where Are All the Black Booktubers? The article goes on to discuss the topic of the lack of Black people in the booktube community, the lack of the presence or the perceived presence of Black people in the booktube community, and it talks about not getting the same visibility as other booktubers do, specifically white booktubers, how it's harder to discover their channels, and just a whole array of other things. And Jolie Doggett goes on to talk to each of us basically about our thoughts and our opinions on the booktube community, on reading, on just a bunch of different stuff. It took me a long time to really even sit down and film this video because once the article came out, I just was not expecting the responses that I got and that we all got from the article. The love, the support, the outpouring, the boosting, everything that has gone on within the community since the article dropped has seriously blown my mind. I thought about making some tweets and I thought about posting Instagram posts, but I have just found that my preferred space to articulate a vast majority of my thoughts, especially as it relates to booktube discussions, or anything with race relations, is on this channel. I just want to start by saying thank you to all of my amazing subscribers. Hello to all of my new subscribers. Ever since the article came out, I have 500 new subscribers in the last week, which is insane to me. My mind is blown. There's a bunch of people who said they didn't even know about booktube. There are a bunch of you who have been following booktubers and looking for booktubers of color and saying that you never even heard of my channel or have seen me before. So welcome to this space. This article has been in the making for over 2 years. You mentioned the Michelle Obama thing in the beginning of the article, and then in another part, before any of that stuff, this article was already in the making 2 years ago. I want to give a huge shout out to Jolie Doggett for publishing this article, for putting this together. Y'all have no idea how much work she really put into this. There is a lot of content and opinions and everything that you don't even get to see in the article because it had to be cut down, but she talked to a lot of people. I know I talked to her on 2 occasions. I talked to her originally in 2017, and then I talked to her again a couple of months ago. And both of those conversations I feel were at least an hour long, and she had already mentioned that she talked to other creators. She talked to some of the larger booktubers. She talked to some authors. There was a vast majority of people that were contacted for the article, but of course when it comes to the article, you can't put everything in there. Big ups to Jolie for publishing this article, for reaching out to all of us, and not only that, but for using her platform to promote a community and then to promote us as Black women in the community, because she did not have to do that. That was just one way of you using the platform that you have to really boost up others and to give other people an opportunity. When I first was contacted for the article, and even when we did the update, I was feeling imposter syndrome. I have always kind of felt that whenever I even get any mention on BookTube. The most interesting thing I found in the article is when Jolie puts in the stat about how the largest consumer of books is actually Black women, which is mind-blowing to me because that's not really reflected in the BookTube community at all. The largest group of people reading is Black women, in general. It blows my mind to think about, because if you were to get introduced to the book community through online platforms, that's really not reflected. That is not something that you see. Naya posted a phenomenal video, an amazing video from a perspective that only she can have. I will leave a link down to that video below as well. And she has a thread going in that video right now. If you're a person of color, creator on BookTube, Bookstagram, book blog, whatever, link yourself below. Y'all, I found so many new channels on that thread. Like, I went back to that thread 3 or 4 days in a row, and I was just finding people's channels, and I was just like, wow. I was shook because the last time I went on that video, there were 92 comments. I never get suggested these channels. But I really want to talk about what my biggest takeaway from the article, my biggest takeaway from the response to the article, and something else that I have kind of been thinking about over the last few years. And for me, it comes down to really realizing the power that your voice has to be a positive influence or to be an encourager in someone else's life. I don't think we as humans really understand the effect of like what we do, the effect it can have on people who don't know us. The very first time I even made a video speaking about diversity and my hesitation to join BookTube in the first place, when I was saying that there was nobody else of color except for Christina Marie at the time when I was thinking about joining BookTube, when I made that video, I got so many responses from people who had those same feelings, who are still not sure if they wanted to join the community. And sometimes you really just need someone with their hand out like this, like, come on to the party. Sometimes you really just need to hear it from someone who is not afraid to say it out loud, and who's not afraid to say, I'm not the only one feeling this way. If you're just thinking about doing something and your hesitation about it really has to do with a fear of not being accepted or good enough or worthy enough, I just really want you to encourage you to do that thing anyway. There is a joy that comes with doing something that you purely and truly in love and enjoy doing, that does not compare to any trolls, that does not compare to any dislikes on your video, on your Instagram, whatever. None of that stuff matters. Like, you have to do what feels good to your soul. And by you living in your truth and being your authentic self and presenting an authentic self to the world, just by you existing in a space that is authentic to you, you are encouraging other people. You just never know. I've been a reader my whole life. I love reading. If I had never started my BookTube channel, just because this is something that has just really brought me a lot of joy. I have read so many more books. I have gone to events, and I have been able to connect on a grander scale than I ever thought possible. I just want you to be encouraged. I really think that BookTube has the potential to grow into something even greater, and I think that's why these conversations are happening, because a lot of times people are like, oh y'all, it's just like a hobby, like this is just YouTube, it's not that deep, I don't even know why y'all talking about diversity. Like, but the thing is, the platform is growing, and with that, it's like, okay, when something grows, you start to see the effect that it actually has on people in their real lives. So then you have to think more consciously about, like, what are you presenting to the world? What do you want to stand for? What do you want to be your truth, your value, etc.? I want BookTube to continue to grow and evolve and be a positive community. I want it to be a real reflection of the real world of readers, etc. I feel like I'm leaving out so much. I don't know if I'll ever be able to put into one video how crazy this experience has been and how much this has motivated me. I just feel like God's timing is very infinite. I had been praying about my channel maybe like starting in October, November of last year. I have plans on starting a different YouTube channel that's totally unrelated to BookTube, which I'm still going to do, but the question kept like coming up, like, am I still going to do booktube? I need to make a decision if I'm going to continue to make videos. I've just been seeing like all of these signs of the importance of my platform, not only to other people, which I have seen like more and more is like mind-blowing, but to me, this is something that I value, and I kind of allow myself for a little bit of time to get into a space where I was placing that value on an outside thing. Sometimes you just need a reminder to like how to get back to the basics. Do what you love what you do, and when you have a voice and a platform, you bring other people up. That's when you reach your hand back. For me to be able to share my voice and share my opinions on how I feel about the representation of Black creators in the booktube community and the lack of visibility, I am so happy to be able to do that, because I want everyone, like I said in the article, I want to be a part of the conversation, and I want everyone to feel like their voice matters, and I want everyone to feel like they have a place here. To wrap all of this up, I will leave a link down to the article below, to all of the other amazing YouTubers that were mentioned in the article below. If y'all want to chit chat and have anything else to say, just leave it in the comment section. I hope that you received this message in the way that I intended. Thank you all. I just love y'all so much. I don't even have words. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at theBookArcher, and I will see y'all very soon in my next video. Bye.